What defines an emperor? Is it merely a king with a grander title, or a general commanding a larger army? The concept of an emperor transcends simple military might or inherited royalty. It signifies a unique form of power and governance. The title of First Emperor is one of history's most debated questions, a battle over the very definition of power and how it shapes civilizations. This isn't just a historical trivia question. It delves into the fundamental nature of leadership and state building. Today, we're putting three of the most powerful rulers on trial: Sargon of Akkad, the ancient Mesopotamian conqueror; Qin Shi Huang, the unifier of China; and Augustus, the architect of the Roman Empire. Each has a compelling claim to the title, and we will examine their cases closely. First, let's establish the rules for our discussion. A king typically rules a homogeneous kingdom, often defined by a single culture or people. In contrast, an emperor rules a massive, multi-ethnic empire, frequently built through extensive conquest and incorporating diverse populations. Our criteria are threefold to determine who truly deserves the title. They must rule a true empire, meaning a vast and diverse realm. They must hold supreme power, acting as the ultimate authority without significant checks. And they must create a lasting legacy, establishing a system that endures beyond their lifetime. Our first contender, Sargon of Akkad, emerged from Mesopotamia over 4,300 years ago, uniting squabbling city-states into the world's first empire. His rise from humble beginnings to ruler of a vast domain marked a pivotal moment in ancient history, laying the groundwork for future imperial ambitions. Sargon ruled diverse peoples like Sumerians and Akkadians, installing loyal governors, creating a formidable standing army, and standardizing trade across his vast territories. His administrative innovations were crucial in maintaining control over such a widespread and varied population. He built a vast, multi-ethnic empire through conquest, held supreme power through a centralized system of governance, and created an imperial blueprint that influenced Mesopotamian rulers for 1,000 years. His achievements set a precedent for what an empire could be. However, Sargon never used the title emperor, calling himself King of Akkad and King of the Universe. This raises a critical question. Does it count as being the first emperor if the very concept and title didn't formally exist during his reign? Next, we jump to 221 BC, where Qin Shi Huang unified a chaotic China after the brutal and prolonged Warring States period. His military prowess and strategic vision brought an end to centuries of conflict, forging a single, powerful state. He invented the new title Huángdì, combining Huang from mythical god rulers and Di from legendary figures, which we translate as emperor. This was a deliberate act to signify a power far beyond that of a mere king. Qin Shi Huang abolished feudalism, divided the empire into 36 provinces governed by appointed officials, and standardized writing, currency, and even cart axle widths across his vast domain. These reforms were instrumental in unifying the diverse regions of China. He was the first to literally call himself emperor and created a centralized, bureaucratic state that defined China for 2 millennia. His administrative and cultural reforms established a lasting framework for Chinese imperial rule. However, his empire was primarily a unification of one cultural group, albeit a massive one, and his dynasty collapsed almost immediately after his death. This raises questions about the true longevity and stability of his immediate legacy, despite his foundational reforms. Finally, Augustus, who found Rome a city of brick and left it a city of marble, ended a century of brutal civil war. His leadership brought an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity, transforming the Roman Republic into an empire. He called himself princeps, or first citizen, to avoid the hated title of king, while secretly holding the title imperator, from which our modern word emperor derives. This clever political maneuvering allowed him to consolidate power without appearing to be a monarch. His multi-ethnic empire stretched from Syria to Germany, encompassing numerous cultures and peoples, and his system, the Principate, became the model for future Western emperors for centuries. The vastness and diversity of his empire were undeniable. Augustus's legacy defined the concept of empire in the West for 2,000 years, despite being 2,300 years after Sargon and 200 after Qin Shi Huang. His political innovations and the stability he brought profoundly shaped Western civilization's understanding of imperial rule. His system was built on the lie that he wasn't a monarch, carefully maintaining the illusion of a restored republic while wielding absolute power. Can you truly be considered the first emperor if you spend your entire reign insisting you are not one? So, who truly gets the crown? Sargon was the blueprint, laying the foundational ideas of a multi-ethnic empire. Qin Shi Huang wrote the job title, explicitly defining the role of an emperor. And Augustus perfected the system, creating a lasting model for Western imperial power. The truth is, there might not be one single first. The idea of empire was so massive, so revolutionary, and so complex that it had to be invented multiple times by different leaders in different parts of the world, each adapting the concept to their unique circumstances. What do you think? Who's your pick for the true first emperor? Was it the conqueror, the unifier, or the architect? Let me know in the comments below and join the discussion on this fascinating historical debate.